To introduce our speaker, she is a Kamusun College graduate in Business General Management with over 13 years of experience in IT consulting, training, and coaching, with average CELPIP score of 11, coach for both CELPIP and PTE, academic and core. Please welcome Miss Joanne Roque.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our session today. Arvin, should I share my screen now?
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sounds good. All right, let me just share my screen. 1 second here.
Her for using the car and walked straight toward the driver. After yelling at him, she completely lost control and punched him multiple times until he shattered. But she didn't realize.
Okay, can you see my screen now? Not yet.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so for our starting off, to kick things off, we're going to discuss our CELPIP listening for this session. Okay, so for our agenda, we're going to cover first the test overview of CELPIP listening. The second one is the scoring, how the test is being scored. What are the features of the audio for listening? Note-taking tips and strategies. What are the question types and what are the test format for each of the component of the listening? Okay. So to start off, the overview is CELPIP, the listening is made up of 6 parts. So it's divided into different components, and it will take about 47 to 55 minutes to complete. So for your first task is called the practice task. So essentially, this will give you kind of like a warm up of the test itself. It is unscored, so it will just make sure that you hear the audio and you're able to properly navigate your computer. While and then there's going to be part 1 to 6, and its breakdown ideally would be part 1 is going to be 8 minutes, part 2 is going to be 5 minutes, part 3, listening for information, is 6 minutes, and then part 4, 5 minutes, part 5, 9 minutes, and then part 6 will be 8 minutes in total. As for the scoring guide, if you would like to achieve a score of between 10 to 12 on your level, you have to score between 35 to 38. And as you can see, that's how it's breakdown as per the guide. So in terms of information, there will be 38 scored questions in the listening test. Each correct answer will be 1 point. And the unscored part, as mentioned earlier, will be the first question, which is the introduction. So you won't need to do a good one on that. Okay, and then of course points are not deducted for any incorrect answers. So always answer every question. It's not right minus wrong. Okay, and then it is computer scored, and then the CELPIP level is calculated by the computer and is based on the number of points and the difficulty level of the question. So for the listening part, it starts with at least the level 1 and 2 would be easier, and then it's going to essentially become more challenging as it progresses. Okay. Right. So, okay. As for the audio features, all the speakers that you will hear will have English as a native language, and they are Canadians. And then for all conversations that will involve 2 speakers, it will be at least 1 female and 1 male. And then all audio clips will be played one time only. So there is no option to pause. There is no option to go back to the previous question. So it will autoplay. Okay. Okay, so that's for your audio. Okay. The number one thing or the most common thing that's being asked on what would be your best strategy in terms of listening will be number one is the note-taking tips. Okay. So once you get started with your exam, you will receive a pen and paper from your from the what do you call this, the instructor. So ideally, you would like to get started and get your notes in sequence. So here are some examples that I'd like to show just for visual. You can definitely use abbreviations. So it really depends on your comfortability on how shortened you would like your notes to be, or what kind of symbols are you preferring to use. So in my case, if you would see the examples, there's kind of the dollar sign, which represents money. There's the arrow sign because I'm trying to describe that this is how the sequence or the information is being relayed to me. And then, yeah, definitely use the format that best suits your writing style. So if you look over to the right side, I have here two columns. The first one is ideally speaker number one, and the second column represents speaker number two. So most students would like to get started on this type of note taking because it's in the simplest form. There is another kind of strategy wherein it's going to be row. So you divide your column between rows, and each row will be the speaker. It is not super recommended at this point, especially if there are a lot of information being relayed. So ideally, you would like to make sure that your notes will be as clean as possible. Okay, so that it's easier for you to go back when you need the information. Okay, so that's for your note-taking tips. And this applies to all the parts of the listening, okay? Not just 1 and 2. Okay, so let's go about the question types. So what are the types of questions that you will get in the listening part? So first type would be called general meaning. So it is the big picture question that asks you to put together the ideas from the section of the conversation. So my example here would be the two speakers are talking about blank. So they're talking about a party event. So that's very specific. So that's why it says big picture, right? Another example is the three speakers all agree that, and then you would have like a drop down of possible answers. You would have to make sure that your answer is specific to what you have heard. Okay, right. So let's go to the second question type. The second question type is specific information. So from the word specific, it is a close up that asks for one piece of information. It could be a name, a place, or a fact. Okay, so an example question here would be a man offers the woman chocolates or flowers. Okay, the woman's job is a doctor or HR, something like that. So that's the second type of question that you'll get. Okay. The third type is called inference. So what is an inference? It is a question that asks you to use information from the audio clip to arrive to a conclusion about something that was not stated directly. So in short, it could be an assumption. Okay. So what are some example questions of that? The man sounds blank about next week's work schedule. You can say he's excited, he is nervous, or he's probably disappointed. He sounds disappointed. Okay. Another question or possible type would be Miss Wilson will probably blank tonight. So she will probably arrive tonight, or it could be Miss Wilson will probably attend the event tonight. So it's not directly mentioned in what you've heard in the question, but it is kind of your assumption, right? Okay. All right, so let's go to part one. So listening to a problem solving. This is one of the two easiest questions in the listening task. So you, regarding the timing, you are given about 8 minutes to listen to the audio and answer 8 questions. So it is a conversation between a man and a woman, and this part one is broken into 3 sections of audio. Two workers, so an example would be 2 co-workers discussing a problem, and one of them is having at home, and then a customer asking for a cashier for help with return or purchase. So in terms of tone or level of formality, it is quite conversational, and then it's also helpful because ideally the speaker would need help from the other person with their problem. And in terms of setup, the speakers do not know each other. Okay, so that's part one. Next is part two. This is called listening to a daily life conversation. It's about 7 minutes, and you listen to, you answer 5 questions after the clip. It is 2 speakers, so it's usually between friends or family for this one. An example would be a parent and child talking about chores at school, or it could be friends discussing weekend plans. So it's very easy to relate. The tone is informal and friendly, and it uses casual language or casual everyday language. Okay. Next is part 3, listening for information. The timing for this one is about 7 minutes, and you're supposed to answer 6 questions. So there is only one speaker for this section. It is a single audio clip, and it will be about 2 minutes. Okay, that you will listen to the clip. An example would be a tour guide describing a museum exhibit, or a voicemail message giving instructions or updates. So the tone of this section will be neutral to formal. It's very informative and it's very structured, and there is no emotional tone. Okay. Next is listening to a news item. So since it is a news item, it again involves one speaker, which could be a news announcer or a reporter. Again, this one is a single audio clip, and it's about 2 minutes. A good example for this is a news report about a local event or a weather update or a public service announcement. And then in terms of tone or formality, it's kind of same as the previous one. It's professional and factual. It's formal and objective, and yeah, there's no personal opinions in this one. It's more focused on the reporting side. Okay. The next part is called listening to a discussion. So this one is about 8 minutes to listen and answer 8 questions. This one is, to be honest, a little on the challenging side because there will be a minimum of 3 speakers. So it depends on what question you get. Sometimes you get 3 speakers, sometimes you get 4 speakers. Typically, it is a co-worker setup. So it's between co-workers or committee members. It will be a single audio clip. So you really have to intently listen to what they're saying. And in terms of examples, it could be them discussing about a company event. It could be regarding a project update or an assignment. And then regarding the tone, it would be semi-formal to formal, depending on what they are talking about. It is professional but conversational. And there will be multiple viewpoints and interaction. So probably in the previous note-taking scenario or example that I showed you earlier, you would use 3 columns to be able to capture as much information, okay? And then last but not least would be listening to viewpoints. So this takes about 8 minutes, and you were supposed to answer 6 questions. There is 1 speaker, and it is another single audio clip, which will run about 2 minutes. And this is a speaker sharing about opinion on environmental issues, or a person discussing their views on public transportation. This is more of a formal example. It's more opinionated, but still structured. And it may include also rhetorical questions or emotional appeal. So there could be, it is a little bit challenging in a sense of it will use a lot of inference in terms of the question and answer. Okay. So that is the listening to viewpoints. That's all the overview that we have for the listening side. So I just wanted to show you the sample test. So let me see if I can share or switch this screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, so once you wait, I'm just trying to remove this side. Wait, sorry, I'm clicking on. Okay, there we go. It's gone. Okay, so when you need to register or when you book for your test, you are essentially needing to sign up for a CELPIP account. And when you do, you just go to the sign-in page, and CELPIP is going to provide 2 questions. So the questions will be, there will be 2 sets inside a question, and this is what it looks like. So we have a free CELPIP general starter test. They give out 2, there will be, sometimes you'll get listening. In my case, I got a listening and a general LS practice test and a general practice test, like starter set. It's not like the full-blown one. So on my side, what I did is I purchased all the tests. So this is for my future students. So each test will have, so as mentioned, 2 inside. So I'll just click on the first one. I just wanted to give you an overview on what's going to look like for context. So once you click on that, you will be given this, this page. And when you're ready to start, you can choose on which practice test that you'd like to use. So I'll just choose 1 for now. Okay. And then this is kind of the instructions. You can read it, but a lot of people don't read it. So just click on start. And then it's going to be up to you if you wanted to do the complete test. Make sure that if you wanted to do your complete practice test, you allot at least 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to complete the complete one, to complete the entire thing. But for now, we're just going to go to the listening side, or the listening example here. So this is the first part. Ideally, you read this, but this one is not going to be shown on your first, on your like actual test. Okay, so just keep in mind. So I'm just going to click next. And then, can you hear the audio?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Okay, perfect. So once you click on that, this will be just like the intro.
Sorry, we cannot hear the audio. Sorry.
No? Oh, okay.
I think you should share with the speaker.
Okay. Yep, that's actually what I did. Let me just stop sharing again.
You can
So,
click it
hold
on the 1 part.
On the 1 part? Okay.
In the
second.
shared, there is a
Yeah.
arrow up beside the share option.
Yep.
And then you can click the share sound.
Okay. I will do that right now. Okay, let's do that one more time.
Listening test instruction.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
The listening test is about 50 minutes. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once. Left-click on the mouse to select your answer.
Okay, so let's do this.
Listening to problem solving. You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Okay. So this is kind of like giving you the overview of what you're about to hear. So in this case, this is going to be between a man and a woman in a gym or health club. Okay.
Excuse me, before I leave, could you take a look at my account and see how many cardio classes I have left?
Sure. Do you have your membership card?
Here it is. I joined this health club a couple of months ago, but haven't been keeping track of how often I come.
No worries. I can look it up. Let's see. You have 5 classes left. Did you know we have a special promotion this month? If you buy a 20-class package, you get a 10% discount.
I already get a 15% student discount. Can I add it on to that?
Oh, no, sorry. The current promotion can't be combined with any other discounts.
Oh well. Thanks, and have a great day.
Okay, so that's the first part.
Question 1.
What does the man want?
Okay, so just to set the expectation, it shows here this play bar will not appear in the official test. So meaning when you click on the next button, it will autoplay the question. Okay, so just keep in mind on that one. So okay, choose the best answer to each question. So what did the man want? So does anybody want to answer? Is it to get a membership, a discount, or to take a cardio class? Oh, okay. So 3. Thank you for the answer. So I'll pick that.
Question 2.
What discount does the woman offer the man?
Does anybody remember? Okay, so Sue is very fast. She's offering A. Okay. So by the way, if you notice on the lower left side, there's an answer key. This is because we are using practice questions. So technically, you're able to check your answer as you go. But I would recommend you can definitely check that. But it's best to try to answer it as best as you can first. Like listen to the question intently, take your notes, and then you can do the answer key on a later time. So that's just my recommendation. Okay. All right. So I'll go to the next one. Go 3, 2, 1.
Hi again. Hey, I must be having bad luck. I was on my way home, and once it started raining, I discovered that I'd forgotten my umbrella. Do you have a lost and found bin? I think I might have left my umbrella in the locker room.
Sure. We have a lost and found. What does your umbrella look like?
It's black. The kind where the stem collapses and it becomes really small. The handle is wooden. It's the Bay brand. It might have the brand logo on the handle. I don't remember.
Let me check. Wow, umbrellas seem to be a commonly forgotten item, but I think I found yours.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you next time.
Question 3.
Why does the man return to the health club?
You can say ABC, whoever wants to answer. Okay, so it's letter D. Thank you.
Question 4.
What does the umbrella look like?
Number 2. Thank you.
Question 5.
Which statement is most likely true?
Okay, so this is an example of a question of inference. This is our assumption. Anybody want to take a guess? B, thank you.
Hey, it's me again. Sorry, I see you're closing in a few minutes.
No worries. It always takes a while for the last class to leave, and it takes an hour to clean up after that. What can I do for you?
Sorry, but I think I took the wrong umbrella.
What? Really?
Yeah, are you sure there weren't 2 black bay umbrellas in the lost and found? Mine has a rip in the fabric near the top, but the one you gave me doesn't have a rip. Here, see? I don't feel right taking it.
Wow. What are the chances of that happening? Okay, let me go check the lost and found again. I didn't really look that carefully because I thought for sure that one was yours.
Yeah, if you could check, that would be fantastic.
1 second. Wow, you're right. I can't believe there were 2 umbrellas exactly the same. Let's open this one. Yep, it's got a rip at the top.
That's the one. Here, I'll trade you.
It's a deal. See you next time. Just press the buzzer to unlock the door on your way out.
Question 6.
Why does the man apologize to the woman?
Anybody? I see a B, I see a C, or number 3. Let's do number 3. Okay. Oops, doesn't want to auto.
Question 7.
Why does the man return the item?
Why did he return the item? Okay.
Question 8.
What will most likely happen next?
Four. I wonder if Sue already saw this question. Okay. All right, let's go to part 2. So this conversation is between 2 servers at a restaurant. So it's, again, male and female, okay?
Hey, I haven't seen you before. You must be new here. My name's Jonathan. How do you like it here so far?
I'm Anna. Nice to meet you. Yes, I just started this afternoon. It's okay. Have you worked at this restaurant long?
2 years now, but I only work 4 days a week. I really enjoy it, but you don't sound like you're having much fun.
This is my first time waitressing, and I'm afraid I'm not very good. I just spilled wine on a customer a couple of minutes ago. The guy was really upset, and I didn't know what to do, so I just ran off. What do I do now?
Ah, that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, even experienced servers. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't worry. Just go back and apologize and bring him another glass of wine and tell him dessert will be free.
What about his shirt? It's got a huge red wine stain on the arm. I heard him tell his date that he can't go to the opera with a ruined shirt.
I'll tell you what. I'll go talk to him with you. We'll tell him the restaurant will reimburse him for his shirt. But first, we should tell Laura, the manager, what happened.
Oh no, I'll get fired. She's going to think I'm the worst waitress ever.
Laura's very understanding. Trust me, you won't get fired. She will make you practice carrying wine glasses, though. Actually, if this is your first time waitressing, I'm surprised she let you carry wine glasses at all. Usually they train you for at least a week first.
Another waitress just passed me a tray with wine glasses on it and asked me to take it to table 5. She said she was too busy.
Oh, I see. She must not have known it was your first day. Anyways, let's go solve the situation. You'll feel much better. It'll be fine. You'll see.
Question 1.
How long has the woman been a waitress?
Question 2.
Why is the waitress apprehensive?
Question 3.
Why was the customer upset?
Question 4.
How does the man suggest they fix the problem?
There's B, there's A. I think it's A.
Question 5.
What does the man think the manager will do?
Listening for information. You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
So, by the way, just to like a quick note, you notice me answering it like very quick because I want to make sure that we cover all the parts for today. But definitely, another thing that I would recommend is when you're in the actual test, make sure that you read the question because it's very easy to make an assumption about what you are being asked. Sometimes you will misread it or you misunderstood it, and that will give you like you will pick the wrong answer if that is the case. Okay, so just wanted to mention that. Okay, so we're now on part 3.
Hi there. What brings you into Artland today?
Hi. I'm looking to take up painting as a hobby, and my grandson just gave me a gift certificate to this store. The problem is, I really have no idea where to start. I'm wondering if you can give me some advice.
Of course. That's what I'm here for. Well, let me start by asking you a few questions. Were you looking to enroll in our classes?
I have a lot of free time, so I figured I would try it on my own.
Certainly. Do you have ideas about what subjects you want to paint?
I think landscapes. We were looking at some old photographs on my birthday, and I thought it would be nice to recreate the rolling hills of the beautiful farm I grew up on in Manitoba. I've been living in Toronto for 5 decades now, and though I love city life and the downtown skyline, the memories of sunsets on the farm are still with me.
Wonderful. Well, the 3 basic types of paints are watercolor, acrylic, and oil. They are all suitable for landscapes. I would say watercolor is the hardest for a beginner to start with, even though it is the most affordable of them all.
I don't think watercolor will be the one for me then. What's the main difference between acrylics and oils?
the amount of time it takes for the paint to dry. Acrylic paints dry very quickly, within a matter of hours, whereas oil paints can take up to several days, even weeks, to dry. A lot of our beginner students like acrylics because if they make a mistake, they don't have to wait long to paint over it. However, that can also be frustrating because it's hard to mix the colors you want when they dry so fast.
I see. Well, I don't think I'll mind fast-drying paints. I'll go for acrylics then. What other kind of supplies will I need?
Do you think you'll be painting indoors or outdoors?
Definitely outdoors. I'd like to paint landscapes while immersed fully in nature myself. I'm a big wilderness explorer.
Sounds lovely. And if you ever feel you need some extra help, we have painting workshops at a local farm not too far from the city every last Saturday of the month. The workshop goes from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and participants enjoy a nice farm-style lunch meal.
Thank you. I'll go at my own pace, but I'll definitely consider it. It might be a nice way to learn, socialize, make new friends, and reminisce about my mother's cooking.
Okay.
Question 1.
Why is the man at the art store?
Do you remember? Anybody remember? Store painting lessons. Okay.
Question 2.
What is the man interested in doing?
I think it's landscapes.
Question 3.
Why does the woman advise against watercolor?
C. Right. Thank you, Ajay.
Question 4.
According to the woman, why is acrylic better than oil paint?
Question 5.
Why does the woman suggest the workshop?
I think it's A.
Question 6.
What is the man planning to do?
Okay. Okay, we're now to part 4. This is a news item about a family trip.
A family driving near Banff, British Columbia, on a camping trip last weekend narrowly avoided crashing into a deer, only to hit a large pheasant instead. Banff is a nature reserve, home to thousands of wild animals, including bears, deer, and countless game birds, such as pheasant. Michael Jansen, who was driving at the time, said they were heading back to their campsite around dusk when they came around a bend of the highway and saw a deer trotting across the road. Jansen swerved successfully around the animal, but only a few seconds later, a pheasant flew across the road in the opposite direction and hit the windshield. He pulled over to the side of the road as the deer ran into the forest, unharmed. Unfortunately for the pheasant, the impact of the windshield killed it immediately. However, Jansen's daughter Emily, who took a wilderness survival course last year, decided to make the best of the situation. She took the bird back to the campsite and roasted it with garlic and onions. It's completely legal to eat roadkill in British Columbia, she explained. Why waste perfectly good food? It's sad that we hit it, but at least it didn't go to waste.
Okay, so the question. So this type on part 4, you were supposed to pick from 4 options. So ideally, when you're given 4 questions, two of the options are definitely off the what do you call this? Off the choices. So you're just gonna be choosing between 2 options, ideally. Okay. So Michael Jensen was driving back to the campsite when he nearly hit a person. Okay, D. Everyone says D. Thank you. Next, where the accident took place is where? It's this one, right? Protected area. Yep. Accident caused the bird to die. Emily cooked the animal they hit, and prompted by the survival course she has taken. Okay, so that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay.
Listening to a discussion. You will watch a 2-minute video, then 8 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
Go. So if you want to take down notes, this will be 3 people talking. Okay.
Well, thanks for being on time, folks. Our agenda today is pretty short. We're just trying to decide on a venue for our company's 20th anniversary celebration. Any ideas?
Well, I've got a couple places in mind. One's smaller and one's larger. It depends on how many people we're talking about. How many are coming?
Well, we're up to 100 maximum. Everyone's allowed to invite their spouse or partner. Here's the program as we know it. Starting at 7 p.m., wine, speeches, and maybe award presentations. Followed at 8 p.m. by a buffet dinner. Starting at 9:30, there'll be entertainment, ideally a live band, if we can afford one.
Up to 100 people, that's quite a crowd. I mean, obviously we need space for everyone, but we don't want to go over budget.
Well, I've got a few penny pinching tricks up my sleeve. We could find a venue on a weekday. Monday through Thursday is cheaper. We can also find a place that's out of town, maybe even out in the suburbs. And if worse comes to worse, we could always hire a DJ instead of a live band.
Also, we don't need to go overboard on the menu. We could just order reasonably priced food that everyone will enjoy.
And we can always tweak the menu a bit, assuming the caterer will let us.
I know a place called Griffin's that might be perfect. It's in Wimberton.
Where's Wimberton?
It's about 30 minutes east by car on Highway 18. Anyway, Griffin's is family-owned, has great ambience, and fairly reasonable prices. They do group bookings as well. I know the manager. I might be able to talk him into giving us a group discount.
Yeah, my main concern would be the location. My brother retired and moved to Wimberton, and it's impossible to get there by public transit. You know, we don't want to say farewell to people as they're getting behind the wheel after having a few drinks. You know, we'd want to get them all to take taxis home, and then we'd have to reimburse them for the ride.
We don't want to incur that expense.
Ditto here. Jinx.
Hey, how about the Red Door? It's just 2 blocks north of here. It's right on the subway line. I know their dining area seats over 100 people. I'm pretty sure the owner could accommodate us price-wise, and he just hired the top chef in the city.
Sounds well worth checking out. Brian, could you contact the manager and get an estimate? Oh, better yet, get 2, one for a Thursday and one for a Saturday. So, we'll meet again next week, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, so we have a total of 8 questions. Why is the party being organized? Any takers? I'm guessing it's A. What is the main limitation for the organizers? Is it the budget, the dates, or the menu options, or the seating capacity? Yep, it's the budget. What does the man say about Griffin's restaurant? Impractical, dismisses it for no reason. Letter B. What would the speakers probably consider most important? I think this is the one you're looking for. Next, why did the woman and the man wearing glasses laugh? This one. This is what ditto means. They said the same thing at the same time. Which option did the committee consider but reject? That would be this one. What information? Thank you, KS. What information is needed about the red door? It's weekdays. And then which statement is likely true? Organizers will reject. Food quality. It is the food quality because they mentioned that they hired a new chef. Okay, next one.
Listening for viewpoints. You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
Okay, so by the way, everyone, time check at 7:55. Definitely this will go over the time. Is everyone okay to proceed, or would you like to start with the Q&A? I just want to check everyone's time. Okay. President, are we okay to proceed? This is the last
Okay lang
one.
po yun sa part namin, pero sa mga audience
Okay.
ba?
Okay. Okay. So everyone, if you are okay to stay, then feel free to stay. You're more than welcome to stay. If you need to go, then thank you so much for attending. So I'll proceed now.
Asha Miller is a grade 11 student at Giles Secondary, a private school. She is pushing for her school to change their school uniform policy. Asha has recently started a petition protesting the school's mandatory attire. Her cause has attracted a large number of supporters within the student body and also from some parents and school staff. At the same time, many among the student body, faculty, and parents are in favor of continuing the school tradition. The debate about whether or not students should wear a uniform to school or not is quite common in Canadian private schools. Although a few public schools also require students to wear a school uniform, most public schools don't require this. One of the most common arguments for uniforms is that students will not be as distracted from their studies by fashion choices or peer pressure. Consequently, students focus on better grades, and they are also easier to discipline. Uniforms are also thought to play a role in creating a sense of belonging and school culture that is important for cooperation and unity. Critics, such as child psychologist Dr. Jason Ferguson, say there is no concrete evidence that links school uniforms to improved educational results. In fact, academic performance scores in schools that adopt uniforms and those that do not often average the same. Moreover, dissenters point out that students required to wear uniforms typically manage to fight the rules and individualize their uniforms by wearing unique shoes or accessories. But perhaps the most damaging argument against uniforms is that they can discriminate against certain religions or cultures. The school's administration advocates that there is a middle ground. Uniforms can work with students' diverse cultural needs if the school authorities consult parents about what is acceptable. Exceptions could be made, such as, for example, allowing Muslim girls to wear long, loose trousers instead of skirts that might not provide adequate coverage. Asha Miller thinks such accommodations don't quite suffice, and she advances a different alternative. She is suggesting that uniforms be abolished in favor of a dress code that specifies the kinds of clothes that can be worn, including the length of dresses, amount of exposed skin, cleanliness, and so on. She argues this solution would address the concerns of all parties. Students wouldn't feel constrained in how they express their identity and cultural beliefs. Meanwhile, appropriate school attire and discipline would be maintained. She adds that adolescence is a particularly critical phase in a person's life in which they are trying to figure out who they are and where they fit, and clothing choice is a way to truly express one's interests and personality.
Okay. Question. Let's see here. Asha Miller's campaign has received unanimous support, opposition, resistance, or growing media support following the school debate. I would say this one. This is the most likely answer. School uniform policy has been newly implemented, affects mostly students attending private schools, is being considered as a countrywide policy in Canada, or was eliminated by a student initiative at Gillis Secondary. Okay, that's right. Uniforms are generally adopted because they eliminate issues of religious affiliations, promote equal rights, help students focus on academics, not fashion, or reduce awareness of individual identity. Number 3. Are you sure? Okay. Next, according to the report, opponents of uniforms state that their use is not always culturally sensitive. Right? Okay. The school administration shows some flexibility to the enforcement of uniform, unwillingness to bring the matter of discussion, disapproval for teachers who support the petition, or intention to ban the use of uniform rules. I think it's the first one. Yeah. An alternative to the prevailing uniform policy, ASHA suggests that the school should D. All right. And here is our, so this is what the last page shows you if you got the correct answer or not. You can scroll all the way down to see your score. Okay. And then if you'd like to go back and review or like try it again, you can just use the link to be able to retry the questions. So that's that. I think that's the end of my presentation. Over to you, Arvin. Okay.
Arvin?
Hello.
I think, yeah, Madam, I think Arvin still, I'm not sure where he is. But yeah, we have a one question from the,
Mhm.
I think he's here already.
Okay. We
Yeah,
can
I think,
definitely entertain all the questions. It's not very hard, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm just preparing the question. Okay.
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 Yeah. So thank you, Miss Joanne, for that insightful and information talk. We will now move on to the registered questions. May I call on Jim G and I think Renee for the Q&A portion.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Arvin. Yeah. So first is, are we going to cater the registered question? Then there are some questions too in the chat box. So Yeah. Question number one, techniques in CELPIP structure. Just want to know some shared techniques from the speaker.
Okay, so definitely in general, the CELPIP structure is about um, kind of like a day-to-day scenarios for as a Canadian worker slash student. So it's not the questions you'll get will definitely be more. It says general because that's really what it is. It's not gauging any specific academic words or academic phrases in terms of composition overall, and it's more of a daily Canadian life. So that's the CELPIP structure. In terms of the test format, you can find the test format in different sections of the what do you call this of the CELPIP website. I would always, whenever I'm referring to my answers, guys, I would always refer you back to the CELPIP website because number one, it's constantly being updated, and number two, it is the source of truth. So, yep, that's it. You'll get most of the test formats as well, even the score descriptors in the CELPIP website. Okay. All right. Tips for the speaking test. So first and foremost, you must try to practice with a timer. So the speaking test is actually very once you're in it already, guys, it will happen very fast. So the practice that you would need if you're preparing for it is to make sure that, well, I wouldn't say like get familiar with the questions, but just get familiar with the format. The speaking test is composed of 8 different sections. So there's more to it than the listening that we had today. Just to mention, we are going to have a separate discussion for the speaking test. It's probably going to be more than 1 hour, but yeah, that's try to speak in a timer, or if you can, try to use your phone and then try to video cam yourself um, practicing the test. Okay. Another tip is you can also try to use if you're using AI, you can try to use ChatGPT, talk to ChatGPT, and ask him to or ask it to generate some questions for you. And then you can like do your timer. Okay. Good question. Useful hacks to ace the test. For me, the first thing that I would definitely encourage my student is to get familiar with the test format. That is the number one thing that I would recommend to you guys. And then number two, once you're already familiar with the format, is assess yourself. What is your strength? Are you a very fast reader? Are you a good listener? How's your note taking? So I would suggest for you to try to um, address what it is that you're having most difficulty in. If you're a very confident speaker, you don't have to like get nervous about it because all you will just prepare for are the possible questions, right? But yeah, definitely if you are lacking in, for example, writing, you're not a very good your composition is too basic, or at least your vocabulary is not um, rich enough. I mentioned rich because it's more of kind of elevated, then you focus on that, right? Because when you are trying to answer the test, you are giving it your all, right? You're not just trying to, just get a pass. You're trying to get you're trying to get for those who are applying for PR, you're trying to get the highest score. And for those of you who will be applying for PGWP, you need at least a 7 on each of the components. So it has to be a balance effort for you. Next question, please. Reading section of the test. This is a very good question, especially for slow readers. For the reading test, you have to practice a technique called skimming. So skimming is trying to read fast at the same time, trying to get the idea first, or trying to get the keywords in a specific paragraph. So the reading is composed of 4 sections, and of course, it's gradually getting difficult as you go on to the next task. So you have to make sure that you practice reading. So it's read an article, reading probably what do you call this, IRCC updates. So all of those information, um, and then you time yourself on how fast you read, because the reading section is also timed like the listening test, right? So you have to make sure that you at least get those 2 techniques primarily: skimming, knowing how to skim, get the main idea right away, and number 2, read very fast. Okay, next. Want to learn how to get score 7. There is a in the CELPIP website, I'll put you there again. In the CELPIP website, once you click on the column which says prepare for the test, there is a menu there which says score descriptors. So it will give a descriptor of each of the level 1, 2, 3, all up to 12. And it will give you a descriptor as well as an example of what they are looking for in the content of your answer, on how to get it. Obviously, in the listening part, you don't need that because you just answer multiple choice questions. But for writing and speaking, in order to get that band, you will just have to go to that section in the CELPIP website, and it'll give you the breakdown of what they are looking for. But in general, if you want to achieve a score of 7, you have to, number 1, vocabulary. It's something that the writing and writing and speaking are looking for sure. Any minor things, which are spelling, capitalization, sentence structure, even your transitions or your conjunctions, you have to make sure that you are using those effectively, so that whoever is evaluating your answers will know for sure that hey, this person really has good English. He's not guessing, right? Okay, next question, please. Do I need this in an MBA application? It depends on what school you are going to. The best place to find out the answer is go to your school website, and then once you click on the program of your choice, you can click on number 1, international student, if you are an international student. Well, I think most of us are. And then it will show there what is accepted, what language does it's accepted, and what score they're looking for. Okay, I don't have a copy of each of the universities here, but yeah, you can check on their admissions and the program requirements. That will give you the answer. Next, please. For the reading and speaking sections, how can I pass them? I think I've answered this question. This is kind of like a combination of what I mentioned earlier. For the speaking section, there is actually, I would refer you back to the score descriptors of what they are looking for. But definitely, I think my general answer to this one is please practice. Practice your reading, practice getting keywords, practice speaking confidently, and yeah, practice your speaking in a timed manner. That will give you a very big what do you call this, incentive before you take your test.
Miss Joanne,
Yes.
i-skip ko na yung mga common question kasi meron mga
Sige, sure.
interesting questions sa chat box.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
No problem.
Eto, what common mistakes do students make when preparing for CELPIP?
Common common mistakes. Number one, there are students that rely on social media to get the tips. So, remember, guys, social media is used for marketing strategies. So, a lot of self-test providers, they use it. They use like probably like 10-second videos to be able to like lure you in, and not all the tips that they say will apply to you as a learner or as a test taker. So it will always be best to find out about the test from the provider itself, which is the CELPIP website. If you need information, if you need practice tests, or even if you have time to spare, CELPIP has good uses of webinars. They provide webinars. You can register, or you can also watch previous webinars to get the pro tips in passing the exam. So don't just rely on because I saw it on TikTok, or probably you saw it in the reels in Facebook. It will not be enough for you to know a lot of information when you're doing that. Okay. Another mistake is assumptions. Hey, this is easier. This is not easier. Remember, each person is different. Each person has a different learning capacity. Each person has a different, hey, this is easier for me, but it's not easy for you, right? So, yeah, every person has a different opinion on things. So, it's best to know yourself. What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? And what are the path that you should take in order to make the best preparation for yourself, right? Because it is what will work for you, no matter what happens. Okay, next one.
Next question, Jinji.
Um, what are the do's and don'ts you can provide to get CLB 9 and above?
Okay, so do's and don'ts. Um, I'll mention first for the listening. Um, for the listening. Um, when you are in the test exam, sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not. What I'm talking about is there are situations wherein there will be few people in the testing room, which means there is less noise and less distractions. So when you're doing the listening, whether you're doing the writing as well, there will be outside noise. So I would do focus on what's in front of you. Do not listen to the one next to you, or do not, what do you call this? Do not daydream while you're in the middle of your test. Okay. Um, in the writing one, any minimal mistake is a mistake. You will not see in Microsoft Word, when you type something, it's going to say that it's an incorrect spelling, right? Or even it will suggest capitalization. When you're answering your CELPIP test, you are supposed to know which one is a capital letter, which one should use a comma, or whatever basic things that we have learned in elementary, right? So you are expected to know the right spelling. You are expected to know how you use your transitional words and phrases. That will give you, that will definitely cause you not to get a 9. So that's for writing. For speaking, it will be best for you to do pause if you're not sure of what you're trying to say, or probably if you're just, trying to uh, compose your ideas as soon as you get the question, right? Do not, and this is a guilty part for me. Sometimes I say this 20 times, right? So don't do that. You will sound less confident if you say fillers. versus if you just take a pause, if you breathe, no one is telling you to say fast, to say your answer fast. So just take your time, sound confident, and you will do it. Okay. What did I miss? Reading. Reading. Yeah, you just really have to practice reading fast. Unfortunately, this is something that you really need to do. There is no such thing as I can't do it. Okay, you are already here in Canada. You made it, and this is just another minor challenge that you just have to overcome, and you can do it. Reach out to your peers if you need help. Start with reading something that you really like. It could be a novel, it could be a book, it could be whatever you like. It could be an article, even gossip articles if you like that, right? Just do it in English. Okay? Those are my tips.
Okay. Next question. I think this is quite similar on the previous one, common mistakes. So we will jump
Yeah.
on the chat questions. Jinji.
Okay.
Yeah, so first question from Gerard, how much po yung practice test? Bundle po ba yon or per test yung bayad? So,
The one that you saw from me earlier, I bought everything in a bundle. So I think that one is I think it's around 200 plus. But if you want, you can purchase per question because each practice test has two what do you call this? Two examples or two subcategories. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to say it in Tagalog, pero kasi sa isang test may dalawa. Yun kasi sasabihin ko. But yes, it is. You can choose to purchase a bundle, or you can also use to just purchase one time. That's totally fine. Okay.
okay.
Sorry about
Yun.
that.
Okay, next question. Ano po yung
Next
next?
question. Ito po. Once you purchase the practice test, does it expire after a certain time or event? If you pass the test,
Yes.
can you still access it?
So that's a very good question. Once you practice or once you purchase it, it's good for 6 months. So it'll tell you the expiration date of when you cannot access it.
Also,
If
there is
you
expiration date on that.
Yes, there is. Yes. You have to buy it again after 6 months. It's like ebooks. Diba yung ebooks natin, usually 6-month access, 6-month student access, or like what do you call this? Yeah, or like yung iba 1 year access. So yes, it expires. The one that does not expire is the 2 free tests.
Okay. Any tips
So
on choosing the best answer? Is the last option during their conversation as the best answer?
so KS, thanks for your question. There will always be 2 options. So there will always be 4 options, right? From the drop down. Definitely 2 out of those is hindi kasali that you will be choosing from. So the 2 other options that will be eliminated or that will not be eliminated are very close to each other. So definitely you have to listen or read kasi sa reading ganun din naman eh. And make sure you really understand. So ang sagot dito is the answer is your comprehension. How well did you understand what you heard, or how well did you understand what you read? So that will instantly give you the right answer. Earlier, we were trying to get through it. I'm trying to get through it as fast as I can because I'm very conscious of the time. But at the same time, I don't want to bore people. So we just want to get through it like a fast pace. But when you're in the exam, you have allotted if you notice, there's a countdown whenever we're trying to answer questions, right? So make use of that time in order to try to extract the right answer out of the question. Another thing that I would like to mention is this is based from my students and this is based from myself as well. The practice questions that I purchased in CELPIP, some of it na mention din ng previous students ko na nag-recently take, some of the questions actually appeared in the CELPIP. So, yon ano lang, para siguro lucky ka if you get that. Kasi ako din, my experience, what you call this, some of the questions that I used to review before, it really came up and it really helped me because alam ko na agad yung sagot, right? So I knew the answer right away because I used it. What to expect
Okay.
during the actual exam? Maingay po ba sa testing site? Sorry. Yes, ako, puno kami. When I booked it, I booked on a Saturday here in Victoria and it was loud. Unfortunately, on that experience, medyo mabilis lang ako sumagot. So, nauna akong mag-speaking. So, I was the one na nasabihan nung, tinapik ako nung instructor na, hey, your voice is loud. Pero hindi talaga loud yung voice ko. Nagkataon lang na umeko yung boses ko. Kasi ako lang yung nagsasalita. So, hopefully naman, when you book your test, hindi ganun ka-busy. But, I think it's better to expect the worst. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
isa
ahead,
yun sa
sorry.
good tip, Miss Joanne. Yung pag nauna ka speaking test, ikaw yung unang
Oo.
maingay, hindi yung mga katabi mo.
Totoo yun. That's true.
So, may time pa po ba tayo for open Q&A?
Ako okay lang. I'm good. I'm available.
So,
Kung
we can
sino yung gustong
accommodate mga 10 questions.
Sige
Okay
lang.
po. Sino po ang mga may question pa dyan? So, we can
Yan.
call
Sino
you.
gustong mag-hi?
Raise your hand lang po. Mukhang walang may mga tanong na.
Oo, nahiya na nga. Nahiya yata sila.
Pero wait lang,
Ay,
may isang question pa yata sa chat.
ito si Rod. May question siya.
Yes
Sabi
po.
niya,
Some of my friends say taking the IELTS is easier. Is that true po? What's the difference po in CELPIP?
Hala, Arvin, tayo makakasagot nito. Di ba nag-IELTS ka?
Yes po.
Sige. Rod, paano ko ba ito sasagutin? I think, based on what I have seen, kasi nakita ko din naman yung test format ni IELTS versus ni CELPIP, I would think na on my POV, mas nadalian ako dun sa CELPIP. And I would say, just based on my other students' feedback, mas generous mag-score si CELPIP. Hala, siniraan. Mas generous mag-score si CELPIP sa sa speaking as well as sa writing. In their experience, again, this is a disclaimer. Baka bigla ako magkaroon ako ng email bigla kay IELTS no.
Saka Miss
Pero
Joanne,
it
yung
really
difference
depends.
nila is yung sa speaking ni CELPIP sa computer ka. So more on
Yes.
illustration. And kay IELTS naman, sa speaking niya is one-on-one with the interviewer. Parang mag-speak kayo together. So, yun yung isang difference ng IELTS and CELPIP.
So, yun. If you are more comfortable speaking to an actual person abroad, you can take the IELTS. But if you are just wanting to prefer like computer lang or recorded, then yeah, that would be the CELPIP version. Yep.
Any question pa po? Anyone? Mukhang wala nang mga question. So, yun po. Yun. Thank you, Miss Joanne.
Okay.
Pwede na po kayong mag-promote ng natin. English.
Magpo-plug na ako.
Yes po. Plug po muna tayo. Bago natin i-announce yung natin, yung special
sige.
announcement.
Okay.
Yes po.
Okay. Sige. So, First, I would like to thank everyone for the um, active participation as well, engagement. Your questions are very valid. And at the same time, yeah, I'm so happy na sobrang dami nating registered. I think we are 28 right now. So thank
Mhm.
you guys for staying until the end here. So I just wanted to share with you guys my venture. My venture talaga. So I am offering self preparation classes. As you saw, aside from one-on-one coaching, if you prefer to, kasi I also had a like kunyari couple kayo and you'd like to just do a one-on-one with me, I can do that as well. And what's good is that we can do it on evenings and weekends. It depends on your preference. Time as well. There are students who would like to just do an hour every other day because they feel like mas maglo-learn sila if it's consistent. I do have a student na couple naman that they want to take the test on their weekends. So that's like I have a Monday and a Sunday test, or sorry, students as well. So yeah, it really depends on your schedule. I'm very flexible. I also have a full-time job, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. But I'm doing this because number one, I'm proud to say it's my passion to coach adult learners. So I've been doing that for more than a decade already. So my strategy is more on not just English itself, but on how to really uh, ace the test. That's what my expertise is. And at the same time, yeah, I'd like to be able to share best practices. I had before like a 3 student session. One of them is a new test taker, and then 2 of them were repeat test takers because they want to get a better exam. And what's good about that interaction is that we not only am I able to share my experience, they're actually able to share their best tips, what happened with the test, what could have done better. So it's a very good, mix of students that I've had. And yeah, everyone is welcome to inquire as well. Yeah, and I'm happy to help. So everyone naman here is Pacific time zone. But if you have a friend or if you know someone who is in a different time zone, then I'll try my best to accommodate.
Oh.
Okay.
On behalf of UPC po, we would like to thank Miss Joanne. So, i-announce na natin, no? Magkakaroon po tayo
Mm-mm.
ng second session. So,
Yes.
hindi lang po kasi CELPIP yung pwede natin na-exam para sa PGWP. Meron pa tayong ibang
Mm-hmm.
option. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's not showing on our
Baka naka-back yung picture.
hindi ko alam bakit di siya nag-show. So, we will be having a PTE or Pearson Test of English. It will be on November. So, with Miss Joanne also. So, thank you, Miss Joanne, for that.
Mm-hmm.
Napaka-importante nito ngayon sa mga student kasi actually, record na siya sa PGWP, Postgrad Work Permit. And
Mm-hmm.
marami kasing nagtetest na or nagpapasa ng ng PGWP na hindi nila nami-meet yung requirement sa CELPIP. So,
Mm-hmm.
yun yung reason bakit din talaga tayo nakipag-partner po. Kasi nga, talagang required yun. Kapag kasi
Mm-hmm.
nagpasa tayo ng below requirements, so sure na, ma-refuse yung application.
Yeah.
Kaya,
Mm-hmm.
yun po yung isang main factor kaya tayo nag-conduct ng ganitong session. So, what's next on UPC? Meron tayong back-to-back login and learn session. So, next week, on October 22, meron tayong healthcare assistant o HCA, partnership with Drake. It's a healthcare assistant school sa Vancouver na kung saan nag-offer sila ng I think below 6 months healthcare assistant program. So sana makatin din yung iba diyan kasi isa din to sa magandang program na kung saan pwede nyo i-take in future kung gusto nyo mapunta sa healthcare uh, part ng career nyo. And then magkakaroon din tayo ng election committee or kick off ng election ng UPC. So for 2026 officers, and it will start on the third week of October. And also meron din tayong another session on November 8th. We call it Paano Ba Yan, Doc? So meron tayong speaker na Filipino doctor sa Victoria, saka may-ari na Filipino pharmacy. So it will be a good session also to everyone. Paano tayo makakuha ng family doctor sa Canada, kasi isa to sa napakahirap na makuha. Kahit ako, wala pa akong family doctor. So at the same time, kagandahan is Filipino doctor yung magdi-discuss dito. And also, yun nga, sa November with Miss Joanne, yung PTE nga, Pearson Test of English, isa rin yan sa magandang test na pwede natin kunin. And also, the year-end ng UPC, and also UPC anniversary, it will be on, tentative date, it will be on December 6. So, kita-kits tayo dyan. And I think that's the end. Pwede na tayo take ng picture.
Smile!
Mag-take po tayo ng picture. Open your camera. Busy na sila. Picture po muna tayo bago kayo malis. Sino mag-picture? Pwede ka mag-picture, Miss Joanne? Hindi ko kasi siya makita eh.
Ay, hala, teka lang. Wait, please hold. Teka, sandali. Teka.
Open camera
While
na po.
waiting,
Sige.
while waiting, special mention. Hi, Rosalina.
Hello.
Good evening po.
So, everyone, ready
Hello.
na?
I just want
Any
to ask,
more?
sino po yung speaker natin sa ICA for the
Drake
next?
po. Drake
Yeah.
po mismo. Ang
Sino
speaker po
yung
natin
speaker?
is Miss, just 1 minute po. Si Miss, for Drake. Next week, si Miss Mayrin po. Mayrin Baluyo.
Okay. Kasi nag-study ako ngayon doon sa ICA,
Oh,
sa
nag-study po
DP
kayo.
Docs. Kaya I
Yes
just
po.
want to know who is the speaker.
Yeah.
Kasi yung teacher ko si Maricen.
Miss Marisol po. Apo.
Yes.
Siya po yata yung coordinator natin sa Drake.
Yeah.
Sa yung magdi-discuss. So, maganda opportunity po yan. Yes po.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, picture na po tayo?
Okay, ready? Yes, ready na? 1, 2, 3, smile! Oh! Okay, share ko to. Share ko na.
Sure po.
Thank you
Nag-pick
so
tayo
much,
ng
everyone.
48 for today's session. So, yan. Thank you po for attending.
Awesome.
Kita-kits
Thank
po next
you.
week.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po, Ma'am Joanne. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Joanne.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you,
Thank
Jen.
you, everyone. Salamat.
Thank you, Jen. Uy,
Thank you,
Cliff.
Cliff.
Ano, kailan punta mo? Kailan balik mo ng
Hindi ko pa
Victoria?
alam. Baka November.
November na?
November
Bumalik ka na,
12.
Cliff.
Ha?
Bumalik ka na.
Oo. Next year.
Huwag next year kasi mag-party pa tayo.
Ah, bro.
Naka-record pa to. Bye-bye.
December 6. Ikaw na
Sige.
ba chairman nun, Jim G, sa Clip?
Wala pa akong schedule. Hindi pa ako nag-request ng leave. Hindi pa ako nag-request.
Ha?
See you.
Ano nyo na yun? Kayo na mag-prepare, Jim G, sa Clip. December 6.
Wala pa ako.
Kailan ba yung balik mo?
December,
Wala pa, bro. Wala pa.
siguro mga
Wala pa
first week
update.
ng December.
Wala pa. Ikaw, Pres, kailan balik mo?
First week ng December. So, on 6, okay na yun.
Okay. Pina-timing mo pala. Okay,
Sige.
chat na tayo.
Sige.
See
Bye-bye.
you soon. Good night.
Good night, Daniel. Thank you.
Salamat.